Good morning, everyone. Here is your fun fact of the day. I'm going to make a sentence. I'm going to say a sentence, and I want you to follow through with the explanation behind it. Don't just hear this first sentence and get all upset. Science is not inherently ungodly. Define science. Track with me through this explanation. Science, defined, is knowledge of the physical world gained through observations or experiments. Simply, we learn about where we live, in whatever scope you want to look at that, whether it's the room, the house you live in, your county, your state, your geographical area, the planet, or the universe. It's just a matter of scope as far as what you're studying. Alternatively defined, science is knowledge or a system of knowledge covering general truths or the operation of general laws, especially as obtained and tested through the scientific method. That 6-step process you were forced to learn many times through elementary school. Just working through that, what we learned through that process. Trying to understand how the world works is not evil. It's not wrong, and it does not automatically mean that anything about God, or your belief in them, or Him, or whatever God you believe in. It's not even blasphemous. We're not commanded in the Bible to be ignorant, so already we're not breaking any kind of command as far as when we try to learn about the world, it's actually going against God's will. There's nothing like that. If, upon discovering something new, or something previously undiscovered in this universe, praise were given to God for this discovery and for His wondrous creation, then that scientific discovery is used to praise God, and not ironically and not unfittingly. The real danger we can run into is when we take science as an idol, as any kind of attempt to explain the universe apart from the one who created it. That is when we run into challenges and issues, is when we elevate our own systems of learning and understanding to the absolute authority. When you make science into God and saying, if it's not explainable by science, then either it's wrong, it doesn't exist, or you're an idiot, then we run into problems. This is where scientists and creationists start really butting heads. It's because scientists in the highest levels refuse to acknowledge that their system of understanding is not absolute. It's one of those things that many scientific-minded people just simply have an issue with, is that God can't just be easily explained, or even really definitively explained. But it's not criminal, blasphemous, or wrong to understand the notion that we as humans, even with collective brains and all the research and all the learning and everything we've done across the thousands of years, it's not wrong to think that we still haven't learned it all, and that we never will. We will never know it all. We will never learn it all. The universe is quite simply too large, mathematically speaking, for us to ever know it all. And not only that, a single human could never actually retain all the knowledge about everything. So there's two ways we will not know it all. And therefore, if we can't know it all, it stands to reason that there's many things out there that we cannot ever even understand. Like a creator. So your fun fact of the day, quite simply, is that if you have an interest in science, or if you have an interest in faith, an interest in one of these does not automatically or ever exclusively preclude the other. It is possible for both to coexist in your brain and in your life, so long as you understand where each one lies in its hierarchy or its relation to the other. When you try to explain everything with science, you will lose out on God. When you have only faith in God, you have ignorance about the world, and science is null and void to you. We actually need both. In many ways, we need both. And we need people who understand that we need both and that the two are not mutually exclusive. But this is another one of those open dialogue things that many people just simply seem to be willing to stick to one side of the argument or the other because it makes life easier. Hope you've enjoyed this fun fact of the day. See you again soon.